Welcome to YouTube and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino and his fucking beard is everywhere. I haven't creamed my beard lately. It's all tangled. It's a mess. Masks make my beard a mess. We're drinking a beer though. It's from High River. This is Muddy Tail Stout. It's a Muddy Tail Stout. That's a beaver. Okay, I'm blind and I looked quick, right? And I didn't know if that was like a squirrel or a chipmunk, but it's a beaver. At least I think it's a beaver. It looks like a beaver. See, it has that little teeth at the front. It's a beaver. This says it is a strong stout. It's 6% alcohol. I wouldn't say that's a strong stout. That is strong beer according to the legal definition of beer, but I wouldn't call that a strong stout. To me, a strong stout is like 7.5 and up. What I like in a stout is right around 5, because I can drink a shit ton of them. But that's just my personal thoughts here. It doesn't really matter, right? Again, legal definition. Yes, it is strong. I just laugh at the strong stout thing in here, because there's a stout right there that's 9%. So that to me is a strong stout. This to me is, your average stout. Anyway, Muddy Tail Stout. Like the Great Canadian Beaver, Muddy Tail is a protected species year-round. A strong roasted malt, yet pleasing to the palate, with flavors of dark chocolate and well-toasted bread. A dark beer worth slapping your tail over. Mm-hmm. I just slapped my tail. This better have been worth it. We didn't just set out to build a brewery in High River. We set out to build High River's brewery. For us, it's about more than just beer. It is about community. We chose High River because this town is made of people who have risen to every challenge and come out stronger because of it. So here's my question, and this is a true question for anyone that actually watches this that is a High River fan. Are the owners and the brewer from High River not from High River? Because the way that reads is like they moved to High River specifically for this. And I only ask because a lot of times when you have a small town brewery, it's people who grew up in that small town and they are doing the same type of thing that this can is talking about, but they just do that, right? So mahogany brown, you can see the light shining through right there. Looks great. You know what? It's in a Guinness glass, and in all honesty, if you weren't looking down at the bottom where it's mahogany brown, that almost looks like a Guinness. The head not quite as thick. Does have some snap, crackle, and pop to it. But yeah, that is a good looking stout. I guess we got to do the smell test, eh? Oh yeah. It says well-toasted bread, but it's like a well-toasted rye bread, because you get that. I get a slight spiciness to that too. It is a toasted, roasted type of scent. But yeah, there is a little bit of spiciness to it. There's a little bit of sweetness. Coffee, chocolate, roast, toast, caramel, and a little bit of spiciness out of the glass, which is amazing to get all that out of the glass, especially this shitty glass. Right? Like, this glass is not meant for nosing a beer all that well. Can. Oh, all the same scents out of the can, but amplified. I'm really excited. Let's try this. I have like an aluminum graveyard happening in here. Slanche. I'm leaving. Bye, guys. Okay, I'm back. I didn't actually leave. We'll close the fire. This is a really good beer. And the reason I'm ready to leave over this beer is it's a really good beer. I ordered these beers from High River, knowing nothing about the brewery. Even the guys I know that live in Alberta have never brought this brewery up to me. They've never been like, "Hey, you need to try beer from this brewery." And I think that's a sad thing. Um, there are a lot of Alberta beer reviewers and guys in the beer scene in Alberta that I communicate with. And again, not one has ever said try a beer from this brewery or I will send you a beer from this brewery. That saddens me in that this brewery does not seem to be getting at least the hype it should, or the exposure it should, or it doesn't have the reach it should. And I mean, I didn't look on the map. I don't know where High River is in comparison to a lot of other places in Alberta, but this did go through Calgary on its way here. So that gives me a slight idea geographically, because I had another one that went through Edmonton that I ordered from Calgary, and it's still in Edmonton, and it's been sitting in Edmonton since February 1st, and now it's the 12th. So, I mean, 6% alcohol. No alcohol warming, but it's 6%. You wouldn't expect an alcohol warming on it. Full mouthfeel. Medium to heavy bodied. It feels like a stout should. It has a little bit of that syrupiness. Leaves a little bit of sticky lips. Not much, but a little bit. And on top of all that, coffee. Dark chocolate, not baker's chocolate, dark chocolate. I'd say like something around 60 or 70% dark chocolate. So coffee, 60 or 70% dark chocolate, little roastedness, little caramel, toasted rye bread. Fucking awesome. It's such an easy drinking beer. It really is. And again, I'm still messed up that none of the people I talked to have ever said anything about this brewery. I'm messed up about that. That staggers my mind, because there's a lot of times where somebody's talking to me about breweries in Ontario, and I'll bring up little known breweries. Then I'm like, you should try and get something from this guy. I'll see if I can get you something from this guy. These guys make really good things. These guys seem to be making things. I haven't had anything from them, but these guys have a great list of beers. Stuff like that. And I didn't get that with this, and I'm a little sad about that. Out of 10 on this is a 9. It's a 9. I'm supposed to Stout strut. I don't really have Stout strut. Every time I have to Stout strut, we talk about this, right? Like, this would be the Stout strut. And you can't, because of how I have my camera, there's no cameraman, you can't see the feet going, you can't see the hips moving. It's just, my shoulders and my giant fucking head. But it got the strut. High River Muddy Tail. Fucking excellent beer. Bye.